All right, matter detectives, welcome. Your mission for today, should you choose to accept it, is to crack the case of changing stuff. We're going to dive deep into the mysterious world of matter and uncover some pretty awesome secrets. Let's get started.
So let's kick things off with our big mystery. Think about this for a second. You've got a log of wood. You could chop it up into a bunch of smaller pieces, or you could toss it in a campfire and watch it burn down into a pile of ash. Are those the same kind of change? The answer is the key to our whole investigation today.
And here's why this whole mission is so important. We're going to find all the clues to tell these different changes apart. We're going to solve the case of what's really going on when things change. And the best part? We're going to give you all the secret knowledge you need to absolutely ace your next science test. You ready? Let's open up the first case file.
Okay, our first suspect is what I like to call the master of disguise. We are talking about physical changes. Now, these are changes that happen all around us, like every single day. But they're a little tricky. They're not always what they seem.
Here's the #1 clue you need to know. A physical change is when matter changes how it looks, but it doesn't change what it is. Seriously, just think of it like it's wearing a costume. Underneath that disguise, it is still the exact same stuff.
Let's look at the evidence. When a solid ice cube melts, it turns into liquid water. But is it something new? Nope. It's still H2O, just in a different outfit. Same thing when you boil that water and it turns into steam, still H2O. If you cut a piece of paper, well, you just have smaller pieces of paper, right? And when you dissolve salt in water, it might look like it vanished, but it's just hiding. It's still salt in there.
So, here's the big takeaway for your notes. For any physical change, the stuff is still the same stuff. And here's the super cool detective trick. You can usually change it back. You can freeze that water and get your ice cube back. You can let the water evaporate and poof, your salt is back. See? It was just a disguise all along.
Okay, case file #1 is closed. Let's move on to our second case. Now, this one isn't about a disguise. Oh no, this is about a total transformation. We are now investigating chemical changes. So, unlike our master of disguise, a chemical change is a complete identity switch. The original stuff you started with, it's gone. And in its place, something totally new, with brand new properties, has been made. It's a one-way street. So how on earth do you spot one of these total transformations? Easy. You look for the 5 super clues. 1. A big color change, like a shiny new bike getting all rusty. 2. Heat or light is suddenly produced, like a firefly lighting up. 3. A new smell appears, like when you're baking cookies. 4. You see gas or bubbles forming. And 5. A solid suddenly appears when you mix 2 liquids together. If you see any of those, ding, 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 you've probably found a chemical change.
And here's the proof. When you burn wood, you can't turn that ash back into a log, can you? You've made new things. When you bake a cake, you mix up all that gooey flour and sugar and get cake, a completely new, delicious substance. A rusty nail has a totally new coating on it. And we've all seen that fizzy volcano you get when you mix vinegar and baking soda. That's a new gas being created right before your eyes.
So the big idea here is this. With a chemical change, you can't just hit the rewind button. There's no disguise to take off. A brand new substance has been created, and it is here to stay. You can't unburn wood, and you definitely can't unbake a cake.
Okay, detectives, you are doing great. We've got physical changes and chemical changes. But there is one giant secret, one golden rule that is in charge of them all. This is the big one, you guys. It's called the law of conservation of mass.
Let's go back to that burning log again. It starts out as this big, heavy thing, right? And when it's done burning, all you have left is this tiny, light pile of ash. It really feels like most of the wood just vanished. Poof, gone. But did it? Did it really disappear?
The answer is a huge, gigantic no. And this quote right here, this is the golden rule. You got to remember this one. Write it down, say it out loud, whatever you need to do. Matter is never lost or gained, it just changes form. So, what does all that fancy science talk actually mean? It's actually pretty simple. It means if you could somehow trap and weigh everything before a change, like the log and the air around it, and then you trapped and weighed everything after, the ash, the smoke, all the gases, the weight, what we call its mass, would be exactly the same. Nothing is ever lost.
Check out this simple example. You got an ice cube and it weighs 18 grams. You leave it out, it melts. Now you have a puddle of water. And if you weigh that water, guess what? It weighs, yep, 18 grams. The form changed from solid to liquid, but the amount of stuff is totally identical. It was conserved.
And that's the whole secret. Matter isn't magic. It can't just pop into existence or vanish into thin air. Whenever something changes, whether it's melting ice or a burning log, all that's happening is that the teeny tiny particles that make everything up are just rearranging themselves into new patterns. How cool is that?
All right, detectives, you have gathered all the clues. You know the golden rule. Now it's time for the final test. Let's see if you can put your new skills to work and solve these last two cases. First up, you take a spoonful of salt, you stir it into a glass of warm water, and it seems to disappear. Is this a physical or chemical change? Think about the clues. Can you get it back? Is it something new?
If you said physical, you absolutely nailed it. Fantastic work. No new substance was made. The salt is just wearing an invisibility cloak, hiding between the water particles. You could get it back if you wanted to. Case solved.
Okay, final case. You mix up flour, sugar, eggs, all that gooey stuff, you put it in a hot oven, and out comes a light, fluffy, delicious cake. Is that a physical change or a chemical change?
And that one is a chemical change for sure. You saw a color change, a smell change, and you used heat to make it happen. You created a brand new substance, and you definitely can't turn that cake back into eggs and flour. Case solved.
And before you go, here is your official detective's cheat sheet. This puts it all together for you. Physical change, no new substance, usually reversible, just a disguise. Chemical change, yes to a new substance, almost never reversible, a totally new identity. Use this to study and you are going to be unstoppable on that test. And just like that, mission complete. You guys have officially cracked the case of changing stuff. But here's one final thought I want to leave you with. If all change is just matter rearranging itself, think about all the incredible, amazing transformations happening all around you, and even inside of you, this very second. What are they? The investigation never truly ends. Awesome work today, detectives.